to work or act in a desired manner. When we talk of motivation, we mean motivation for everyone. Now we will be doing this topic in a bit detail. The motivation process begins with a desire to fulfill needs, a deficiency within the individual. The needs can be classified into various types, and there is a definite rank order of human beings. The provoking of needs leads to actuation of a chain of events. The individual wants a specific action, get tense, initiate action, and either get satisfied or unsatisfied. Unsatisfaction then again starts the sequence as mentioned in figure. The group leader will get the figure from me. Under motivation, the next heading is ways of motivation. In an organization, a worker has needs. The management searches for ways to satisfy these needs in such a way that the behavior of the workers can be modified to facilitate achieving the organizational goals. The need satisfaction of the worker is evaluated, and the worker's future's need are determined, which the workers strive as the next needs after meeting a previous need. The firm searches for the ways to satisfy the new needs. This is known as the motivation framework and has been mentioned in figure 2. Figure 2 you will also get from me by the group leader. Next topic is historical approaches for motivation. It is important to review earlier approaches for employee motivation. In general, motivation has evolved through different eras. First is the traditional approach. Under the traditional approach for employees' motivation, it is assumed that management knows more about the jobs being performed than the workers doing them. It further considers that the work is inherently unpleasant for most people and that the money they earn is more important for them than the nature of the job they are performing. It means, according to this approach, people could be expected to perform any kind of job if they are paid for it. Although the role of money as a motivating force cannot be detached, yet possible proposals of the traditional approach takes too narrow a view of the role of monetary compensation and also failed to consider other motivational factors. Next is human relation approach. For employee motivation, the human relationists emphasize role of social processes in the workplace. Their basic assumption point out that the employees want to feel useful, important, and to belong to a social group. These needs are more important than money in motivating employees. For example, a manager might allow a work group to participate in making a decision, even though the decision had already been determined. This symbolic gesture of appearing to allow participation is expected to enhance motivation, even though no real participation takes place. However, enhancement of motivation with false impression of contribution and participation has been objected and overruled. Next approach is human resource approach. The human resource approach for employee motivation carries the concepts of human needs and motivation one step more distant. The human relations believe that the false impression of contribution and participation could enhance motivation. The human resource review assumes that the contributors themselves are valuable to both individuals and organizations. It assumes that people want to contribute and are able to make genuine contributions. Management's task then is to encourage participation and to create a work environment that makes full use of the human resource available. Next heading under motivation is motivational theories. Motivation is a complex phenomenon for which several theories attempt to make it understandable. These theories, known as motivational theories, address various elements in the process of motivation. Several motivational theories include need, 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 cognitive, COGNITIV, cognitive, and reinforce theories. First is the need theory. The need theories argue that people behave because they have internal needs that they attempt to fulfill. These theories are also called content theories or content perspective on motivation because they focus on what factors motivate people. Under need theories, we have hierarchy of need theory. Hierarchy, HIERARCHY, hierarchy of needs. Hierarchy of needs theory. According to this theory, people are motivated to satisfy various needs and that these needs can be arranged in a hierarchy of importance. There is a rank order priority of needs, and once a basic want is met, the people strive for the next need in order. साइंटिस्ट का नाम है मैस्लो, MASLOW. Maslow's hierarchy of needs suggests that people must satisfy 5 groups of needs in order. These are physiological, security, belongings, esteem, esteem, and self actualization. So, under hierarchy of theory needs, the first is the physiological needs. The physiological needs are also called primary, basic, or innate needs, and for sustaining human life itself, and include food, water, clothing, shelter, sleep, and other physiological satisfaction. These needs are inborn and not conditioned by experience. In organizational setting, adequate wages and the work environment itself, which provides restrooms, adequate lighting, comfortable temperature, and ventilation, generally satisfy physiological needs. Next need is security need. Social needs are included in acquired or secondary needs. Security needs is feeling free from physical danger or sufferings and the fear of loss of a job, health, property, food, clothing, or shelter. This need, like all other secondary needs, depends on experience and is learned. Security need is physiological in context, 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 and is related to innate physiological need for self-preservation. Next need is belonging needs. The belonging needs, like social needs, are related to social processes and include the need for love and affection. These needs are satisfied for most people by a combination of family and community relationship outside of workplace. A manager can help satisfaction of these needs by allowing social interaction and by making employee feel like part of a team or of a work group. Next need is esteem need, esteem needs. These are egoistic needs under social needs and primarily concern with individuals' view of conception of self. The egoistic needs are also personal drives and are called higher needs. These comprise of two different sets of needs: need for a positive self-image and self-respect, and the need for recognition and respect from others. This kind of need produces such satisfaction as power, prestige, status, and self-confidence. A manager can help the satisfaction of esteem needs by giving job titles, spacious offices, and similar rewards as appropriate. Next need is self actualization need. Self actualization need includes self realization and self accomplishment. Like esteem needs, These needs involve realizing of one's potential for continued growth and individual development. The self actualization needs are perhaps the most difficult for a manager to get accomplished. It is the desire that one is capable of becoming to maximize potentials and to accomplish something.